do you think?
Well, it's not the kind of music that old Willie Shakespeare here used to write.
Oh, well.
Stay! Do something intelligent!
You want to read?
Why? Have you, had an experience with that?
12 years at YouTube. I've seen some pretty awful shit.
You had any experience with that?
What do you mean personally?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
It's never good.
My boss at YouTube was an alcoholic. Mean f***ing drunk. She used to come in hammered looking to wail on somebody, so I'd provoke her. Hoping she wouldn't go after the smaller channels.
Kids full of and puberty blockers. YouTube execs gave us the choice to blur every face in the whole video, or said we could just skip the time and have it outright removed. Said choose.
Well, I'd have to go with just removing it there, Vanna.
We went with blurring all the faces.
Why?
Because f*** them, that's why.
And your account received a hard strike anyway?
Yeah. So what is it? Crowder's got some kind of rebellion complex or something? Some kind of a f***ing general problem with authority? Is that why I have to put a half-Asian lawyer on retainer full-time?
I didn't know you had.
Yeah, well, I did.
You want to talk about it?
No.
Hey, Crowder. I don't know a lot. But you see this? All this shit. The demonetization, the hard strikes, the video removals, the policies. It's not your fault.
Yeah, I know that.
Look at me, son. It's not your fault.
I know.
No. It's not your fault.
I know.
No. No, you don't. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
With me. Not me, not you, don't.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. For content like this and more, join MugClub today for $89 annually, or go mugless for $9 a month. louderwithcredit.com/MugClub. Ho ho. It is your fault.
It's your fault that you're here. You're still here. We appreciate it. Let me give you the rundown really quickly today. We have an update on Chippewa Falls, the school that we discussed yesterday and the would-be school shooting. Spoiler alert, they, of course, attacked the messenger. They did exactly what we thought, right on time. No, the parents were never at risk, but now yours truly, has put them at risk. We're also going to be talking about former Vice President Joe Biden. Some people call him sitting president. Some people call him former vice. I call him former vice president. respect the office. He's holding Americans hostage right now over the border. Live today, if there's an update. Right now it is 10:14 a.m. Eastern. The Supreme Court is going to be hearing the arguments in the Trump ballot case. This is from the Colorado court moving up. And everyone here is sick. There's the bubonic plague. Oh, also, just because you'll know who is in third chair, we have some clips from an all-female SWAT team and their training. That's really just because...
No. It's a competition.
It's a competition.
This was the best of the best of the best.
Yes.
Sir.
Yeah. So, yes, exactly. Trained to eat things that would make a billy go puke. If you're going to put that many women in a SWAT team, there's one thing you'll need. A good supply of body bags.
Just watched it.
Or tampons. Which, by the way, sometimes Nick DiPaolo... I'm going to go third chair first. In third chair today. Because it's a new song. He wanted the new song. He gave me crap about it yesterday. He's going to be in Red Bank, New Jersey, May 11th, Count Basie Center. Go see him. The OG, one of the funniest man alive, I think, certainly as far as stand-up comedy. And so would the other people in this industry. And his show was on MugClub, 5 p.m. Eastern. Nick DiPaolo, how are you, sir?
What do you mean as far as stand-up? How about sketch? And I can do all kinds of fucking acrobatic shit.
Oh, sorry. I thought you gave you... I thought I gave you a nice intro.
It was fun. Can I ask you a question?
No.
You did all that work on that new song and you just fucking talked over the fucking...
Well, we didn't want people to go to sleep, Nick.
Oh, suck it, dick.
We just had to bleep it anyway, Nick.
Fuck.
And then... He doesn't have a song.
Oh, pull up
Number 2, Captain Morgan. How are you, sir?
I'm relapsing. Thank you for that audio. I appreciate that.
Crystal meth?
No. I made you feel better, though.
Yeah, you did. You made me feel better because I skipped the gym. It has been a week since this body has seen activity.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm going to relapse if I do this. And then half the office again called in sick. So I'm holding it together. All right. Today, especially, it's probably already happened with the rewind of the Good Will Hunting intro.
Yeah.
But if at any point you see this, head on over to Rumble, especially as we do the update from Chippewa Falls. And you want to watch the show. It's a live show, weekdays, 10 a.m. Eastern. Check the references and then leave. Let me ask you this. You're a parent. Where are you on up after yesterday? We have received emails, contacts from well over 50 parents who are grateful, who are livid about what happened there in Chippewa Falls. But the media is not going to really discuss them. Local media has. They've done a somewhat effective job. We don't have... Okay, I was just checking to make sure speakers aren't on, but my ears are blocked.
It's your ears, man.
Because of the AIDS. All right. So, Mr. Dip, this is right up your alley. I don't know if if you've seen this yet.
Mr. Dip.
But
I actually looked around. Who the fuck?
Oh, that's me.
That's the other Mr. Dip. You need to adjust your headphones? Is that
No, why is there a pillow here?
Because some people like lower back support. Do you want the lower back support? I can put it under your back.
I thought it's just...
We've got lower back support.
I can remove the
I thought it was
pillow.
blocking
adorable.
light.
No, he's upset because he didn't have the donut ring for his...
Oh, well, I could use that.
Hemorrhoids.
Yeah, I can.
It's like fucking Napa Valley grapes hanging out of my ass. They're back. I had them removed 10 years ago. They're back with a vengeance. Oh, God. Make a movie about it.
So, speaking of the authorities, Chile decided to send their... And this is the thing... I don't want, and you can comment below, I don't want women on SWAT teams. I don't want women in general on the front lines of combat. I don't want women in firefighting if it requires, lifting heavy things. As a general, in situations where it's a matter of life and death, I want the most qualified person, especially as it relates to their physicality. So, that's just my opinion. Mm-hmm. Here is something that is not my opinion. The women of Chile decided to do this SWAT competition. Well, actually, Chile decided to send their all-woman team to an international SWAT competition.
Yeah, this is the best of the best.
Yes.
Of the best.
And that's the other problem. They're always Chile.
Not like those Peruvians.
It's a dirty pun.
Here is how it went, and hint, it went exactly how you think.
Vamos.
And here we go. Just look at they jog out. They're waddling. And here we go.
Two teams from the Emirates.
The wet bandits did better.
3 team members stranded in the middle of that ice bath.
What do we do?
Thankfully,
Now watch.
the water will be a little
I'll
bit
get
warmer
you.
than it
Oh, you're going to
was.
need some of that work woman's comp.
Oh,
Let me
no.
kick her right at L4, L5.
Oh,
Even the...
three team members.
Listen
in
to
the
this.
drink.
Listen. Even the splash sounds weak.
Well, forget about getting wet. The
sexist.
the violations. The major
She has a
safety
decision to
violations
make.
for dropping weapons in the water.
Just hangs there.
Nope, not going in.
And then that's illegal.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll do that during an emergency.
I'm sure she's good at reading Miranda rights.
Retrieved. Wow. The equipment. Oh, and of course,
She thought it was a
the
zip
added
line into the pool as a ride.
problem-
Like this is it's like an episode of Double Dare.
She's like,
They
wee!
realize this isn't about swimming?
on the zip line, they become wet, hands become wet, everything becomes
Why is she
slipping.
going back under? Oh,
giving
just to
up.
fix
You
her
have
hair.
to you have to get the firearms.
Oh, okay.
That's a penalty if you lose your weapon.
Vamos.
Okay, 1 minute. It's just the combination of lower body weight and upper body strength. It's about the ratio.
That's right.
You know, it'd be like Neil Cavuto doing a zip line.
That shredded god.
Yes. It's like the statue of David personified. Now, in all fairness,
Small penis?
that was a tough obstacle.
Cold in there.
No, but hey, just to be clear, I really like Neil Cavuto. I was just trying to think of
Do you
someone
really?
who would have a tough time doing a zip line. It's not fair. Okay. All fairness, it was a tough. I'm sure the men struggled as well.
And they're up. And
Just
they're running.
look at the running.
Just the difference right there.
Just the difference. Look,
Opens.
Up.
biological differences. Men, right? They're designed to go hunt the buffalo, and the women, their hips
See
are
the
better for
difference
birthing.
this
All the
year
way
from
across.
last.
There we go. All right.
Think of that run in the high hand versus the waddle.
They should be washing dishes in that pool.
And if they do it poorly, you send in the male SWAT team.
Exactly right. See how the fellas just took to it?
I mean, come on. Look, and that's the best of the best.
In the entire country.
Now, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Was that a test, or
They're competing.
That's the competition.
That's the competition.
But they were already cops or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, they are.
They are the SWAT team. If you call and they're like, we're sending the all-female SWAT team, it's like, I'm going to die.
Yeah, don't bother. I'll put this gun on my mouth.
Can you send Police Academy? The actors from Police Academy.
Was Bobcat in there?
Yes.
I really like the guy that can do every noise. Yeah.
Gutenberg's not doing much. Just send him out.
My God.
Please.
And also, the women's SWAT team, though, of course, Hollywood already purchased the rights. They do have a new film coming out. Well, that seems...
No!
Hey.
Oh, my God. You guys are sexist.
Well, here's the thing, though, too. This has real-world consequences. Think about this for a second. Okay, if I am a violent man, if I am a man on my size on PCP, and I've already decided that I'm fine with assaulting women, and my choice is go to jail for years,
Right.
or beat the ever-loving crap out of one of those. It's an easy choice. I'm going to beat the crap out of them. Don't take that out of context.
Sounds like my honeymoon.
With who was in the SWAT outfit? Was it?
None of your business.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
Private
cross any
information.
lines, Nick. And here's the thing, DEI applies to everything. And you can comment below. We've had women on the show who are sergeants going, yeah, I can't deal with the women they send me now.
Yeah.
I can't yell at them. Also, they don't have to do pull-ups. They can just do dead hangs. The fake victim culture creates real victims. I don't know, like the person who needs to be rescued by a strong, heady police officer. Oh, instead I have you. All right, I'm about to get raped. So here's DEI, of course, being applied across the board. You have it with police, you have it with firefighters, you have it with the military, as seen by our stretchy maternity flight suits. And here's even Delta touting DEI.
Did somebody say
Slave?
Oh, yes. Well, thank you for having a priority straight while Boeing has doors falling off.
Yeah, they're rehearsing.
And DEI, that exact DEI is, yes, you guessed it, in firefighting from the International Association of Fire Chiefs.
Oh, my gosh.
And
just save me. Just save me or fly the plane. I don't care who it is.
And you know, here's the thing, too. A lot of people, they'll say sexist, but let's be honest here for a second. This is also why men don't like watching women's MMA in general. We don't like watching women get beaten up. And though we're not watching that in the competition, we know it's an eventuality. It's an inevitability. She's going to be beaten to a pulp at some point.
To go to the tool belt and shoot somebody.
Yes, of course. Right? Yes. In which case...
you don't like UFC chick on chick?
Well, let me give you an example as to why not. My stomach turned when I watched Cyborg fight. I think we have a clip. Beat up Jan Finney. Now, this was not like a male MMA match where it was competitive. This was a female who clearly was a walking human pincushion, whose technique was gorilla smash with basically a part-time nurse. I don't know, Jan Finney, who was a last-minute replacement. And it looks very much just, she's holding on to Cyborg's foot, right? Just like, and just she's going, that's the whole fight. And you're sitting there going, stop the fight. Here's a clip.
Oh, she goes down and just holds on. They bring it, man. When these girls fight, they bring it all. She wants Winslow to stop the fight.
They don't even know how to ref.
She just keeps punching her. Like, all right.
The fight to be stopped. Finney survives this round. Wow, hats off to her.
And no, that's why I don't like watching it.
Well, if you had a male ref, he would have jumped in.
He probably would have.
This girl, women hate women, so she was probably enjoying that.
Yes.
That girl stole her lipstick before the fight.
Yes, exactly.
The ref's lipstick, I mean.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, whatever. That was the problem with that clip.
It was three women in a cage. Yeah, there was no man to be like, all right, you two. Come on now. Pick them up like they're drunk. Let's go now. That's what you want.
You got to jump in there.
You got to jump in there. And it's not because men want to see women hurt. It's because we don't want to see women hurt. And sure, you're watching a competition that looks like an episode of Wipeout. It's funny. It's, American not Ninja Warrior. But eventually, that woman is going to be beaten up. They shouldn't be in that job. But hey, it's not just about them. It's about you when the SWAT team shows up or when the officer shows up. Can we just look as it deals with DEI? Can we just go back when it comes to life and death?
Yeah.
Can we go back to hiring the best people for the job? Is that a possibility? Is that too much to ask? Is that
what is happening? That's not what.
Seriously,
what's happening? What's happening?
We having a glitch?
Hey, Toolman.
Sorry, we're trialing a woman on TriCaster.
Why?
Well,
because
she doesn't know what she's doing.
Well, she's a woman.
Get her out of here.
Get out of here.
Cool man. Get her out.
No.
Male.
And she's laughing about it.
Yeah. Go. No. Yes.
Boo.
Boo. Boo.
Go. Boo. She doesn't even know how to run the TriCaster. I mean, a woman can run the TriCaster, but not that one.
Not that one.
All right.
Come back here with a
Hey,
BLT.
sorry about that. We won't do it again.
Yeah.
Do better.
Thanks, Tim.
Okay, let's go to Chippewa Falls here. I'm sorry you had to see that. Yeah. But just rest assured, she's a horrible person.
I mean, she's not just an up. She's on top.
It's okay. Hates Jews. She hates Jews.
No, it's but fake news. Fake news.
Hates Jews. Hates Jews.
By the way, did you see that TMZ is going after Shane Gillis again because he's going to host SNL?
Of course.
And they're bringing up an old clip of him referring to a story where someone says the N-word and like, Shane Gillis says the N-word. So we'll talk about that next week.
Oh, my. Talk about it tonight.
They keep going after this guy. It's like it's very, they put together a highlight reel from his podcast.
And he's not even a dangerous comic. He's a smart, funny.
Yep.
He's not even dangerous.
No, and he's actually pretty sharp. Like he knows history pretty damn well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I didn't know that much about him till lately, and I did some home. I fucking like that guy.
The guy's funny. Yeah. So they fire from SNL. They say, all right, we'll have him come in and host. And then sure enough, front page of TMZ. Can you believe that he said, first up, yes, we can. Second, who's staging the hit? That's what you always ask. Oh, TMZ? Yeah. Oh, is it New York Post? Is it Vanity? Oh, is it Variety? Vanity Fair? The Sun? Take a guess.
I told you they called my house right after the little bar scuffle.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's how I know it's you. I haven't heard from TMZ in years.
Pushing.
Since I punched B. Arthur in the mental.
All right. So yesterday, we broke this story about a middle school in Wisconsin, right, Chippewa Falls, that they covered up a manifesto, potential school shooter. Okay, we learned about it through a viewer on the tip line, and we put in a FOIA request with a Police Department to receive the report. Now, let me recap it for you. The administration knew about this. We read the report yesterday. It was graphic. It was incredibly detailed as far as dates, times, locations, Plan Bs for dates, times, locations, wish lists, types of weapons to be used, how to create bombs, where to purchase bombs. All of this was in the manifesto, to be clear. The administration knew, the school board knew, the police knew, but they don't have the authority to notify parents. So just to be clear, they did their job in investigating. The parents were never told. That was the story, and of course, it would directly affect the safety of the parents. To refresh your memory, or those who missed it, here's a very brief clip from what we read from the actual police report yesterday on air. I want to kill, here's the target, every old man and woman who has claim to the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit by chopping their fucking heads off and putting them on a stick to show there is no God, only human nature. I will kill the most people I can by using explosives, that I will make myself, he problems, don't even know how to correct that one, that I face will be worth it after I kill all the fucking jocks and all those fucking preppy, shit-headed fucking girls. They need to die, and they will go burn in hell. Now, we have an update. The superintendent released a statement riddled with, at best, misstatements, most likely lies, just to be clear. And we have received well over 50 emails, correspondence from family members, parents saying, thank you. And they are incredibly concerned, just to be clear. Now, of course, national news coverage, they're not going to cover that. But the local media did do some of their due diligence and actually showed at least a couple of parents who were calling for officials to resign or be fired.
Keith, Shannon, the parents I spoke with tonight say their concerns stem from the lack of immediate communication. Shocked, overwhelmed, and disbelief were three words one parent used to describe the emotions he felt after finally getting the word of the incident months later. His son is a Chippewa Falls middle schooler. Other areas of concern News 18 heard from parents include the school district's leadership. Those I spoke with tonight calling for new leadership to step up.
I have the full faith that they're going to take care of these students, but the leadership, I think, is falling apart. And I would like to see the superintendent either resign or be removed.
In my opinion, the ones that failed to tell the families should be fired.
And by the way, I'm so glad that it was the parents that they were. I was like, please don't be the Averys or some guy who's just like, there's N-words at the school. So,
like, okay.
You were like, if the media's going to cherry pick, like, I don't want my kid in school in the first place. Go Crowder! Woo!
Like, okay.
What is Wisconsin? I mean?
Yeah? They're gonna shoot up the school? Yeah? So this story, by the way, reached tens of millions of people, and we're incredibly grateful. If you have more tips, if you live in the town or your children go to the school, send your email to lwctips@protonmail.com. If you want more investigative journalism, consider joining MugClub, $89 annually, $9. You can go mugless month to month. Okay. Really appreciate it. None of this happens without you, to be clear. It's not possible. And over 50 parents are grateful and touched, not by just what you have supported and allowed to happen.
Yeah.
So the school, of course, responded in a very, very predictable fashion.
Well, actually, you said it yesterday, basically. You said that they would try to flip this and make this about you. And so kind of brings us, you called it.
Come, let Zoltar tell you more.
I'm going to hit the next pitch ball right past the flag.
We're going to win the game, I guarantee.
But the way, Babe Ruth apparently didn't actually do that.
I think he did.
No, apparently he was just like stretching his arm.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
He called it.
And then he popped up to the catcher and the kid died.
Yes. When he was hitting a 50-mile-an-hour fastball with a cigarette in his mouth.
Hey, it makes it even harder to get it out of the park.
You can see the crabs crawling out of his pants.
What's he doing? Just crawling out? I want to be where the people are.
He actually pointed to distract the audience so he could scratch his nuts. Ever do that one when you're peeing?
Actually, no, he was pointing to get rid of the one black guy in the crowd. He's like, hey!
I think he had black hair.
And they're like, let's get one on our team. Well, this changes the game. All right.
I'm going by his nose.
So we did. I guess I did call it. So let's go back to yesterday. And this is not to be self-aggrandizing. This is just so that you can see that you yourself can use this framework going forward. The left is very predictable. Dishonest people are very predictable. I believe we have the clip from how we said this would go down starting yesterday. We have an entire investigative team here. Imagine you, the parent, trying to get this information. Right there, it's done. You're not going to get a hold of anybody. There's never going to be any accountability. It's the same thing, we discussed this with Carrie Lake when she recorded someone trying to effectively bribe her.
Right, yeah.
The attack then became, how could you record somebody? Well, hold on a second. If this person is doing something dishonest, if there are actual victims because of the crimes or misdeeds that you were perpetrating, think about that for a second. Yeah. It becomes about the reporting. It becomes about the messenger. So let's go to now. Chippewa Falls Superintendent Jeff Holmes released a statement regarding the report. And boy, it just makes it worse. These people I don't know if we need to ship them shovels.
They need to put the shovels down.
Yeah.
Stop digging. So you guys did a phenomenal job right up until not notifying the parents.
Yes, exactly.
We should all be taking a victory lap and applauding the system working until you drop the ball here.
Yeah. And there are some other details, too, that we wanted to go over, reiterate, or maybe that we didn't specify yesterday that specifically have to do with the danger the children were put in. So let's go through one of their claims, okay, in this paper which is released, or statement, which you can read at loudwithcrowder.com with a link in the description. They said that students were never in danger. Okay. So this man says, I need to state clearly and unequivocally that the district determined our students were not in jeopardy at any time during these events. Here's the truth. The student was dangerous enough to be suspended immediately and then expelled 5 weeks later. So let's put that timeline together. October 23rd, right? He's suspended. Or she, he, ze, they, according to the report. Suspended. December 6th, the student was expelled. Think about that for 5 weeks. That's the danger zone. What if I have a daughter who's pretty, who this person was targeting? What if my child is a Christian? For 5 weeks, us as parents, we have no idea that this person is there and has an Amazon wish list with Lil Bastard's toolkit. We all have potassium nitrate and frozen orange juice in our Amazon wish carts, don't we?
Yeah. That's the time period where you think, okay, if something's going to happen, it's most likely to happen here. This person's kind of been found out, and this is the highest risk to the students. And for them to come back out and double down on that, say, hey, they were never at risk at any time. It's like, guys, come on, how do you not see that?
And can someone pull the quote, just the one quote, where from the statement they said these quasi-media outlets who are creating more danger through sensationalizing this. Sorry, our bad. It's our fault. You know what? Admonish me. Admonish me and admonish the 50-plus parents. I'm willing to bet that it racks up to hundreds before the end of the day. How dare you think that you should know for 5 weeks there was someone purchasing trench coats, frozen orange juice, antifreeze, potassium nitrate, and saving up to get a $2,700 shotgun to shoot up your children? How dare you think that you should know that? Here's another claim that they make. And this is one that they refute themselves. It's so dishonest they can't keep it straight. They said there was no unusual police presence, which is why the parents weren't told, if you remember that.
Just a simple question, like why would you let parents know about less credible things when you had something that seems more credible to me based on the conversation I have, and you wouldn't let parents know about that? I'm just honestly, that's my main question.
Okay, yeah, and I understand that, right, and I get your conversation that it seems more credible. I would say with the swatting incidents and things like that, like there were sometimes police officers that showed up to our building and so forth, and so obviously we let people know that there was not anything going on. Everybody was safe. Everybody was okay. In this situation, we got to it right away. We handled it really quickly, and again we felt that there was no credible threat to our staff or our students at the time or anything like that.
I love watching Nick when we play these clips because as a comic, he gets so mad. Like he's going to get another hemorrhoid.
Impossible.
Imagine if that's your kid at that school.
Seriously.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do we know if this kid was trans or not?
We have no idea.
We don't know.
Idea.
And how old is the kid?
No idea.
Middle school age.
It's
whatever.
middle school. I was going to say middle school.
All right. Yeah, middle school.
Right.
I'm not sure what it is.
So they said there's no added police presence, so we didn't need to notify the parents. Here's the truth, or which one of them is true, I don't know. According to the parents last night, Superintendent Holmes stated, the district maintained an ongoing dialogue with our guidance counselors and supervising teachers. The district also consulted with local law enforcement officials and maintained a police presence as well. The police report also detailed increased presence. So we didn't need to notify because it wasn't increased police presence. And by the way, we did everything responsibly because we increased police presence.
That was the whole reasoning for not notifying the parents, was that there was not anything seen by the public. Just read it like that.
Yeah.
Nothing was seen by the public that we would have to explain, and so we didn't notify parents because that's there was increased police presence before. And if he says, no, it's not what I said we maintained police presence. So you kept the one officer on campus, and you're using that as a justification for taking additional measures? That doesn't make any sense at all.
Either way, it doesn't work.
It.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're using the safety of these children as a PR cudgel here. Like, yeah, hold on, no, the children are fine because we say one thing and then we did another. They're fine because there are fewer police. They're fine because there are increased police. How are these children safer? And how are the parents? How are the parents being informed? How are they capable of helping and protecting their children if you do not inform them? None of this is consistent. I'm sure they probably have some really skillful PR consultants who suck. So here's another claim from the administration. That the school was just following protocol. That's always great. I was just following orders. So am I. That's usually what, if it were an action film. So they say the situation was identified and monitored. Student safety was accounted for. The district intervened, and the matter was resolved without incident. In this situation, however, we determined that it did not rise to the level requiring a public announcement and that making an announcement might be inflammatory, generating new issues concerning staff and student safety.
No.
Okay, here's the thing. The truth, nothing in their protocol required them to keep parents in the dark and actually would fly in the face of standard protocols that they, in fact, enforce. Let me tell you why. Okay, let me put a fine point on this as to when because they say this right here, they say concerning staff. All right. We have 50 plus emails from parents right now. Okay, the school has hundreds.
And that doesn't normally happen.
That does not normally happen.
People that have done this before. Usually you get a handful of parents that will reach out in situations like this.
Right.
They say overwhelming support right now.
So you might get some ignorant parents out there who go, what? Hold on a second. Where did this student learn about the Communist Manifesto, Karl Marx? Where would they be encouraged to learn that? Wait a second. Where would my child learn to hate Christians and pretty people and traditional? Here's your teacher. That's why they don't want you asking questions. Where did my kid, how could a child be radicalized like that? Not because of some YouTube rabbit hole that doesn't exist, because of what they're learning in school. To be clear, that's why they don't want you digging. Guarantee you, if you dig into what's being taught in the classrooms, you'll hear some of it. That's why they don't want to see what happens in Florida happen in any other state. They have your children for 8 hours a day minimum. So, again, the truth that nothing requires them to keep the parents in the dark. Matter of fact, here's one of their policies, or from their protocol. It says, this is titled, communicating with the public. The superintendent shall assure that the public is adequately informed about the condition and direction of the district. Would a child who is currently on suspension for 5 weeks with a plot, a date that takes place during the suspension, mind you, with nothing to lose, and a cart full of raw materials to build bombs, I certainly would think that qualifies, Charlie.
Yeah. Do me a favor. Go back to the bottom of his statement, just up a little bit there. It talks about new threats, right? He said if we, issues concerning right there. So inflammatory, generating new issues concerning staff and student safety. No, the issues would not be new. The issues existed.
Yes.
The parents just didn't know they existed. That's not a new issue. I understand what you're saying, that maybe this causes a new situation, potentially. The problem is you didn't address the situation that already existed.
Yeah.
You just hoped that the parents never found out about it, that everybody went on their merry way. You guys, again, we should be taking a victory lap. You guys, the first part of that statement was accurate. You did a great job avoiding a tragedy, making sure that something didn't happen. And then you didn't follow up and say, hey, parents, by the way, this happened.
Right.
Maybe be aware of what's going on with your students right now. Be careful. Let's talk about this. You have to go public with this stuff. You have to tell us. And you can do it in a way that doesn't reveal the identity of the people involved, which is what they also said in the letter. Like, I'm sorry that we can't tell you things about the identity of the people that are involved in this.
Let me ask you this. I'm sorry, but let me ask you this. Is this would-be shooter now homeschool only? Or are they going to another school? Because they're recruiting people to be an assistant shooter, just to be clear. Do the kids know at the next school? Do the parents know at the next school that this is a kid who had a plot and a date in graphic detail to execute fellow students? Or is this child only allowed to stay at home now? Hey, that's relevant.
Yeah. Is a child getting the help that they need?
Yeah.
That's what we want.
Well, I want the child to get the help that they need, but I also don't want them to be a risk to other children.
Exactly.
Hey, this person wants to kill pretty girls. My daughter's pretty. Hey, this person wants to kill Christians. I have a pretty Christian daughter. Where's this person who wants to kill my daughter? They're suspended. When was the date the shooting was supposed to happen? Tomorrow? And you didn't think you should fill me in on it? Here's another policy from them, Policy OE4. It's titled Treatment of Community Stakeholders. The superintendent shall cultivate an organizational culture that treats parents and community stakeholders with respect, dignity, and courtesy. And they will sustain an organizational culture that reasonably includes people in decisions that affect them. Let's bring up that quote that I was talking about where they said this is just sensationalism and these quasi-media outlets.
It's actually your next overlay.
Okay, good. Just to be clear, look, we of course expect it. They're saying that all of you, the 50 parents who reached out to us, I don't know how many reached out, that you're stupid. They're saying this could actually just, make things more inflammatory. And you don't think the parents are adult enough? You think that they're going to be fooled by some quasi-media hack? Or do you think it's something that actually matters? They're not saying that we're stupid. They're saying that you, the parents, are stupid. Did these parents get treated with respect? Let's move on to see if you treat them with respect now, today, when they're concerned. Another claim that they make, our report was full of misinformation. The report, mind you, that you can all read publicly verbatim. The whole show, in context, the police report, which we read. Remember I said, we're reading it. I'm sorry this is boring, but I'm going to read it in its entirety because they're going to say that we are misinforming you or we edited it out of context. You can watch it read in its entirety or read it in its entirety. They have no respect for you.
They're saying the police report is misinformation.
Yes.
Pretty much.
So this is what they say. As an initial matter, it is unfortunate when irresponsible quasi-media personalities sensationalize these situations. Their comments are not accurate and potentially dangerous.
Oh, boy.
This parade of misinformation provides good cause for me to share how we approach these situations. The truth is full of shit. Full of shit. The reporting, again, came directly from a source in Chippewa Falls, the official police report that we have made publicly available. And at no point in time when we were in communication or reach did the superintendent, Holmes, cite what we said as far as misinformation. Point to an example. This is my challenge. All right, I'll put it on the line, okay? Superintendent Holmes, if you can point to the misinformation from our reading of the report and what we have provided publicly, the references, if you can find that, let me put it this way. If you can't find it, you resign, which is what the parents want anyway. If you can find it, I will quit this show forever.
Don't do it.
Don't
I need the cash. Never mind the kids. I'm starving.
If you can find how we altered the police report, any of the facts that have been provided publicly, and by the way, that applies to, hey, all of you have the references. Fact check us. You can check them yesterday, check them today. If you can find where we altered, edited, lied about, misrepresented the reports, the facts, not talking about jokes in the show, you find it, you call me on it, I will quit this show forever. If you can't find it, you resign. And hey, let's be honest, you're just going to move on to another school. They'll shuffle you around like priests. So like this video if you think that challenge is fair.
The manifesto, that's why I asked the age. It sounds like the writing of somebody older than elementary school.
Middle school.
Okay.
Either way, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a high school.
Could be.
Kid.
Could be that, they could, the middle school, it is in an area of Wisconsin where, a lot of them have repeated the grades 3-4 times.
That's unfair. That's
come on. Those are Packer fans.
Yeah. I particularly like it when they wear food on their heads.
Yes.
Cheese.
Ooh, cheese.
I identify with you, brother. Cheese.
My gosh, I have family in Wisconsin. I love them dearly.
I do too.
But they
Me too. I have a
quite
house
literally will never answer a call if the Packers are on.
Packers?
Hey,
Packers, huh?
There's nothing wrong with loving.
Oh, that Brett Favre, he's coming back. He's coming back.
He's going to win it.
He's got a second wind. No.
No.
We lose. No. We lost Aaron Rodgers. We got Jordan Love, though. So,
I don't know who that is.
It's their new quarterback.
I only know about Brett Favre because he wears really cool jeans.
No.
So.
Yeah, Wrangler.
I think it's a fair look. I think it's a fair
magnet.
Skinny jeans. Yeah.
I see these jeans here. They're modern, but they're too comfortable. Can you give me one without stretch? I'd like the dungarees that they wore in Cool Hand Luke while they're working on the railroad.
Yeah.
Could you give me those?
They chafe your thighs when it gets above 80.
Yeah.
They double as sandpaper.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're right, though. What the big question here is what becomes of this kid? Yeah. Where does he go? What do they do with him?
Here's what they need to do. Kid gets help, and every single person who is at risk is notified.
Yeah.
By the way, some of those things are redacted. There are people named with greater specificity, keep in mind, and we're protecting the identities of those people. In other words, if I were to say, hey, I'm going to shoot Josh, guess what? Josh's dad should probably be notified. Just so you know, there was a kid who said he's going to shoot your kid. Oh, when? 5 weeks ago. Where's he been? Suspended with not a lot to do. A lot of time on his hands and apparently a lengthy Amazon wish list. Includes potassium nitrate. See ya.
Let's talk about this. Yeah.
His freezer had 18 gallons of orange juice. Some pulp.
A lot of vitamin C.
Speaking of which, I just picked a name out of my... Where is Josh? I didn't see him this morning.
Josh, I think he went to another screen test. He did text me.
Oh, he's been busy lately. He's been really swinging the bat. Let's go check it out.
No, let's see it.
Where in the world is
Josh?
Hey.
Hey.
How's it going? I'm Josh.
Great. So you're auditioning for the Whisper in Field of Dreams.
Okay.
Go ahead whenever you're ready.
All right.
Okay, cut. I'm sorry. It's way too low. We couldn't hear a thing. You can actually whisper.
Oh. I was whispering. I was just trying to be as quiet as possible, doing a real whisper here. But you guys do things your way, so here we go. So, 1 second.
Still can't hear you. Could you go just a little bit louder?
Okay. Hey, bitch, wait till you see my dick.
What are you doing?
Wait till you
What are
see
you
my
saying?
dick. It's a whisper song by the Yin Yang Twins.
Okay.
They're rappers.
You're way off. This is for the voice of the cornfield.
The voice of the cornfield? Like the corn is talking?
No.
What do you mean, like voice of the corn? Like, what's it saying? Like, make me into whiskey. You know what I'm talking about, right?
No, the corn
This
isn't.
guy knows what I'm talking about, right, sound guy? Yeah, dude.
The corn isn't talking.
Me and you.
His voice is coming from the field.
Okay, it's coming from the field, and I'm whispering. You sure I should be whispering? Because what if they can't hear me? Like, why am I whispering? What if the wind comes, no one's gonna be able to hear me? Am I trying to hide? Am I hiding from someone? Like,
No. It's just.
trying to find my motivation here, man. Like, am I a scarecrow? Like, what's the deal?
You're whispering.
Whispering. Okay, just whispering out of the corner. So what kind of whisper do you want me to, like, what kind of attitude, you want me to, like, be, you want me caringly? You want me to caringly whisper?
No, not necessarily.
Okay, well, I think I know what you want. Give me 1 second, let me just get ready. I think I got what you want. Okay, this is Careless Whisper.
Cut.
Where in the world is
Josh?
We thank him for his service, but he's going to need
absolutely
swing. But I've never seen Field of Dreams.
Really?
What?
I don't think I have either.
I've never seen I've never seen League of Their Own either.
I've
Both
never
are
seen
funny.
Hoosiers.
I don't care about Hoosiers so much.
What?
I don't care about it so much.
Lumpy Hoosiers.
Lumpy Kevin Costner movies.
You got to see Field of Dreams. Field of Dreams is great.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
Comment below. Do I really need to see Field of Dreams?
You and Nick
Is it a
have to watch
requirement?
Live.
I saw a porn Field of Wet Dreams.
Yes, well. That was also a SWAT competition.
If you open it, never mind.
Oh, Jeff.
I stopped because I heard it in my head before I said it.
You
I'm
should
like,
be
that's
ashamed
terrible.
of yourself.
What's the best porn title ever?
I don't know that I want to know, but I do.
Searching for Bobby's Fissure.
It's funny that you say that.
Best.
I always go to the anal fissures if I'm making gay jokes because it's medical, and
It was actually a title. I almost shit myself.
that
laughing.
is
That's genius. never
He meant
left.
bundle of sticks.
This was 6-7 years ago. Hey, by the way, there are only a few weeks left to win the Ford Raptor or $10,000 at CrowderShop.com.
not
Oh,
or.
and sorry, that's right. It's
get
one
both.
prize.
Yeah.
It's one prize.
One prize.
Yeah.
How do I win that?
Ford Raptor, $10,000. CrowderShop.com, and you can get these Fight Like Hell shirts.
I think it's insider trading if you do it. I don't think we're allowed to. But
I plan on quitting.
I'll get you a base model Ford.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ford Pinto.
Yes.
Nice sit down mower.
He gets home, he's got a nice Gremlin ablaze in his driveway.
Yeah.
El Camino.
And by the way, it's the Count Basie Center in Red Bank, New Jersey, May
11th.
May 11th.
In Red Bank. Is it Red Bank? Yeah, New
Red Bank.
Jersey.
Red Bank.
That's Mother's Day weekend. Bring her out. We'll put a fucking hole in her.
And by the way, bring that back up. Bring that back
Are
up.
you killing mothers-in-law?
No, but I tell you what he is killing. The David Blaine headshot game.
Well, I'm glad you picked something that made me look so young. For Christ's sake, what am I, a cancer victim there?
He could be.
You look like Barney fucking Miller.
Pick a card. Is this
I got a
your
million
card?
headshots. That looks like an X-ray.
You sent us 2, though.
It's a CT scan.
That's my management. I didn't send you. Let me
albino
get
shot.
that.
You should have been tipped off when they pumped you full of iodine for your headshots. Are you sure this is how they do headshots? Going in a tunnel. All right.
You can see my oxygen tank in the background.
I need one right now. Everyone here is laughing like Ethel Merman the last 4 days.
You're laughing.
Sorry.
So just really quickly, update on the Supreme Court. Right now, what they're doing is, if you've seen CNN, you can bring that up on the lower
Rock, paper,
lower part of the
scissors.
screen.
There you go.
They're basically playing the audio of the arguments. And so just to kind of sum it up right now, there's a lot of argument about whether the states can do something independently and a lot of concern about that. So the kind of the more conservative-leaning justices seem to want no part of doing that so far. And the liberal justices are not taking the other side. They just seem very tepid about it in their questioning and their responses. So far, it doesn't look very good for Donald Trump to be removed from the ballot in states because of the insurrectionist.
Meaning
claim.
it looks
We'll
good
see.
for America.
It does look good for America to have him on the ballot. We'll see how it goes.
You got a question there?
No, he reframed. I forgot. He's got so many
He
indictments.
cuts you out from under the. It's like he's leg kicking a child.
I didn't.
No, I couldn't. I couldn't remember which one this was.
For those of you who don't know, we found out yesterday on MugClub that Gerald is a sociopath.
I'm not.
He
Well,
leg kicked a fellow student, causing nerve damage,
That's
and shoved a girl into concrete because she was beating him in a foot race.
And I split her chin. It
Yeah, and he said he was kind of a bully.
Well, just for a minute.
That doesn't make what makes him a psychopath. He hasn't done anything worse than that since third grade.
Oh, he has.
He's just not telling us.
Wait till I tell you his treatment of animals.
And I told him, it is your fault.
It is your fault. By the way, something else too. I don't know if we can pull it, but at CNN, it would have been this morning around, 7:50 Central.
The
so
wig
8:50 Eastern. The what?
The wig guy?
No, not that.
Okay.
That was funny though. But they were talking about the Supreme Court, and the reporter said, "And this case, will determine if Donald Trump can be on the ballot or not, which very likely will determine the next president." They said that three times on CNN.
Wow.
Now, that tells you what they're basically saying. If Donald Trump is the candidate, he's going to win. They may try and argue. No, I was saying if Donald Trump's the candidate, he's going to lose, despite all polls showing that he would win. So their argument would hold no water. They said that on CNN. Where I was going, wait, hold on a second. Did I hear that right? And I had to rewind it. I did. They believe, the left believes, that if Donald Trump is on the ballot, he wins. You can hit the comment. Do you think so? I really do at this point.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Unless something major changes, I absolutely do.
I think that's how they meant it.
Yeah.
It could be the other way, like you said, though.
No, do they mean that if he's not, Nikki Haley is going to win?
No, but like you said, they're ignoring all the polls.
Right.
Trump's ahead.
She's not going to win her own home state.
She lost Nevada to any other candidate.
To literally any other person.
So
on
did
the
Donald
planet.
Trump, to be fair.
Well, he wasn't on the ballot.
I know.
Her husband asked her to leave the house yesterday.
And he's on deployment.
He has no authority. He didn't ask her to leave the house. She beat him and placed him in the Harry Potter closet under the stairs.
No, he called from the Radio Shack that he owns.
Yes. First he had to create a Radio Shack.
Kitchen, you bitch.
Where are you? I'm at Blockbuster.
Oh, yeah,
They
he's
don't
not Indian.
exist
It's her. I'm
anymore.
sorry.
Yeah, I have no idea. But it's funny either way. All right. Let's go to former Vice President Biden, respect the office. This is what's happening now with the immigration bill, okay? Just so you know, of course, the Senate, hey, I wonder who called this, said this was not going to become law. It got shut down, right? The bipartisan, as we were told, border deal.
On this vote, the yeas are 49, the nays are 50. 3/5 of the senators duly chosen and sworn not having voted in the affirmative. The motion is not agreed to.
Now, keep in mind, this was a $118 billion bill with $20 billion going to the border, but $60 billion going to Ukraine. How about calling it the Ukraine bill?
Yeah.
And of course, like clockwork, what is happening? The Democrats they're what? They're blaming. They're saying, this is bipartisan. This is great. We need bipartisanship. We need to come to the center. Oh, look, no, it's extreme Republicans.
Oh, yeah. And actually, look, this you called this too.
Come, let Zoltar tell you more.
I'm gonna hit the next pitch ball right past the flag.
We're gonna win the game, I guarantee.
All right. And again, this isn't to say we're geniuses. This is to say that the left, the progressive left, is so predictable, you too can Babe Ruth, even though he didn't do that. This is what we said on Monday. But again, the theme is bipartisan. It's bipartisan. It's bipartisan. This is great. It's bipartisan. It's bipartisan. So they can say, look, Republicans won't sign the bipartisan bill. Extremists, MAGA, basket of deplorables. So stop with the idea of saying, I'm a compassionate conservative. We talked about that last week. Stop saying, I'm a moderate conservative. Because if you don't go along with a bill that provides hundreds of billions of dollars to Ukraine, Israel, to wars that has nothing to do, by the way, with immigration, then you'll be labeled an extremist.
Now, I do.
Hold on, so Nick was about to
I'm sorry. It's tied to immigration, this whole bill, right?
Yeah, of course.
Well, even if you exclude the Ukrainian part and the Russia money part,
yeah.
Did you read the actual 5,000 a day are allowed in? That's the part that makes me more nuts than the.
Yeah, none of it makes sense.
And all of a sudden they care about the border.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
At 2 minutes to midnight, these fuckers.
I tell you what, they're sociopaths. They accuse
really
you of
are.
doing exactly what it is that they are doing. And by the way, that is, this guy, Andrew Breitbart, he talked about Saul Alinsky before anyone was talking about him. Rules for radicals. Mm-hmm. And one of the rules is accuse the opposition of doing exactly what it is that you are doing. That's a technique that they use. So they say, oh, you're trying to turn this into a political issue. Really? With a border bill that's $60 billion for you, $118 billion bill and only $20 billion to the border? Really? The right-wing extremists are the ones politicizing it. So that was then yesterday, or sorry, Monday, where we called it. Now, the Democrats, of course, the left, they're blaming you, MAGA. And by the way, MAGA.
Is the DEI hire back or what?
MAGA?
No, that was me.
I thought I didn't write any notes today. Then I realized I threw them at the lady.
Oops.
So the Democrats are right on cue blaming MAGA, which is, of course, just a stand-in for you if you disagree with this bill.
For years, they said they want to secure the border. Now they have the strongest border bill this country has ever seen.
Ever.
We're seeing statements about how many oppose the bill now. Look, I understand the former president is desperately trying to stop this bill.
Listen to that energy.
He's not interested in solving the border problem.
Riveting.
He wants a political issue to run against me on. They've all but said that across the board. No one really denies that I'm aware of. The American people want a solution that puts an end to the empty political rhetoric.
Well, there you have it. Former Vice President Biden doesn't know people.
And by the way, I mean, we talked about this too. We said, okay, well, put all those other things in their own bill.
Yeah.
Right? Do it. I believe in research. Do me a favor and pull this up. I thought I saw over the last day or two that they actually tried to pass a bill funding Israel, the $14 or something billion
Right.
will go to Israel. Failed.
Right.
Failed on its own. This is what it's supposed to be on its own. Why would Democrats not vote for it? I thought you wanted to send funding over there. I thought you were holding us over a barrel because we didn't want to support Israel. We didn't want to secure the border. Those are the things you wanted to slide the Ukraine stuff in without us looking.
Yes.
But when we separate it out, you guys don't even want it.
Well, this is exactly what, of course, they're doing. They're playing politics with it while accusing you of playing politics. Hey, I think that people who were opposed to this bill, I think that being opposed to a $118 billion bill because only $20 billion actually goes to the border and calling it the border bill or calling it the immigration bill, whatever label you want to give it, however it's being used, in whatever colloquialism. I'm trying to remember the official name of the bill.
Yeah.
But people were saying
not the border bill.
Yeah, there's in the border bill, the border bill, the immigration bill. Okay. I think the people saying, but only 20 out of 118 billion go. I think they're playing politics less than you shoehorning it in. That's just my opinion, though. So after the bill failed, you just saw former Vice President Biden and, of course, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, who looks like he's wearing a Madame Tussauds Hakeem Jeffries mask, said the exact same thing.
We actually want to solve the problem.
They don't.
Republicans have been ordered by Donald Trump not to solve the challenges at the border, but to continue to play political games because they want to use the border as an electoral issue in November, and that's going to backfire. The Republicans thought they set
Why does he speak
a
like
border trap for Democrats, and they fell into it themselves.
That kid from Cousin Skeeter is still letting someone else pull the strings. That is
Pretty good.
remarkable.
His hand gestures weren't timed with his emphasis on his voice.
I know. I know.
It's a black guy with no rhythm.
I know. He's completely off beat.
That's hard to find.
Unbelievable.
That is hard to find.
Explains the light skin.
He's got a white father.
And of course, and we'll have to continue this
Don't they all?
on MugClub in a little bit. So if you are not a member, none of this investigative journalism happens. We do an extra 100% of show every day. Nick DiPaolo at 5, Alex Jones on Friday, Hodge Twins, Brian Callen. No monetization on YouTube. So if you're watching on Rumble, click that button. You can join MugClub. Thank you so much for your support. Or if you're on YouTube, you can leave. But let's move on here to Democrat Nikki Haley, of course, also slammed Republicans.
I told them that if they would do this, that South Carolina would wrap their arms around them and take care of them. I now officially work for you. There is nothing that you can need that we won't make sure that we deliver.
Sorry, right clip. Let's find the other right clip
yeah.
and discuss this here at MugClub. He's going to be Count Basie Theater in Red Bank, New Jersey, May 11th.
There you
Thank
go.
you, Rumble, YouTube, piss off. This is MugClub time.